Now this is the bricks you're talking about.
Lightweight. We made our own bricks. It's foam and cement. They float in water. Climb this thing to the top if you want, eh? Go for it. Go for it.
30, go for it.
Yeah. So the idea here is to... Alon, заходи. It's just a little attachment, because in a Thailand dome I saw them, they're sitting against the wall. You remember the cushions, but they... Sunny, out. But the feet are straight. So here I thought, if I have a little seat here, and the glass obviously is going to go here, so I could have a little hanging desk, and I could just zen, and then I'll have a little fish here that will be chowing my dead skin of my, from Thailand, type of vibe. So there'll be a little pond here, and they will just have a little circulation, and obviously cushions so you can lean against here. They'll probably extend a little seat, and then you can just relax like this, and and you can. It's all made for human. I literally measured what's my height. Let me make a door. Why must I make a 2-meter door if I'm not 2 meters?
Yeah.
So, so there's a door. So it's everything made like just, it's my height. It's done for me. But obviously you can grow as bigger, and there's different energies.
Yeah.
Aircrete, highly insulative, lightweight, and then a sandbag is mass. That weighs like 25 tons. Really, a lot of mass. There's a 15 cubic meters of sand, 30 bags of cement. You use very little cement, 1 to 10 there. Here's also very little cement.
Okay, the sand, where do you get that from?
If you're on the plot of the land, you would dig it from under your feet.
Okay.
And like here's a water tank.
So the water tank's underneath.
40,000 liters, which I fell into in the first 5 minutes of my workshop. I went whole in, like I stopped myself. It was hectic. This far from a square tube bringing next to my anus was not funny. Yeah, so there is water there. 3 meters deep. Yeah, no, it's proper. And it's got these sandbags going, and then at about just below this level is a concrete beam. So it's a big stirrups, standard concrete beam, and round. We made it ourselves with some rebar sticking out, and then we weaved like a Malawian basket on it. And then it's a ferro cement. So there's the top of the dome. So it's a ferro cement dome, and then the gravel just tops up to make it square. And then we're obviously going to put a nice flooring here and so on. But that's the top of the dome, and it's beefy. Very beefy. Yeah, and we'll obviously finish it. That's about 2-3 days of work, and then there's going to be a nice skylight on top, but I'm thinking to do it in the next workshop.
And the metal structure, is it just for measurement?
Yeah, this is the compass.
Yeah.
This is the compass, where to put the bricks, and they lean on it. Then we'll put 2 wedges on the outside. The wedges make sure that they stay in position from popping out, and when the bricks come lean out, we hang 5-liter bottles with a hook, and then that makes sure that the bricks don't pop in. So between the wedges and the bottle, once you remove the compass, the bricks keeps on hanging in its position, you like this, and then you carry on. So that's that. But have a look at the sandbag one.
But this is not.
I'll be adding a little. Oh, Ronnie, I need to take this pole out.
Yeah.
I just watch up there.
And it's a different energy. They're much heavier. Alon, заходи внутрь. Ronnie, can you just come and take this pole, please? And I'll be removing this aircrete because I don't want to, I'm not saying aircrete is the best, but it's what gives us the sexy looking shape for now. But the future is, can you take this pole away, please? That pole.
Okay.
So just bring a hammer and whatever. The future is hemp and lime, hempcrete.
Yeah.
That's the future, or sugarcane waste and lime. Just lightweight. We want lightweight, insulative, and then we install the window. So that's lacquer. So just to show you,
So
it's not just blasted in.
You went to a place, they made this for you.
Oh, you did custom one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You just buy this, right?
Yeah, and it's proper installed, and obviously when it's plastered, it will be very pretty and so on.
Of course.
But yeah, let's carry on. Come, Sunny. And then all of these spirals, we basically just roll the bags. This literally doesn't even have plaster.
So you don't buy your bags, you make them yourself?
No, the bags are bought. There's the bags. It's polyprop.
So you buy it in a row like that?
Yeah. It's very cheap. And then in between the bags is the barbed wire. The barbed wire acts as a tensile ring,
Okay, so just give it some...
so it doesn't come out, and the shape gives compression. So you've got compression and tension working hand in hand together.
Okay.
And that's a ferrocement seashell roof, like Gaudi, but that's like lots of cement and lots of steel.
Yeah.
Lots of cement. But it's strong because of the catenary shape. Catenary shape is self-supporting shape. If I'm to do this straight, I'd have to go like a meter thick. This is only about 12-15 centimeters thick, giving you the span. But then you have pillars every 3 meters to continue the catenary shape. 12th.
I don't see where you sleep.
There's going to be additional room here.
Okay.
Here, and then I'm going to climb through this window, and don't ask me why, because I had to show them, because this window we actually poured off site.
Oh, I see.
It was separately poured, and we carried it in. So we didn't build it brick by brick. We poured the whole shape in. We brought it. So I had to show them. So there'll be a bedroom here, which will have another one of these, and this will be attached to that. Sunny. So here's a 16,000 liter water tank with a blast out valve. Just stand back. So that's first flush. So that gets all the dust from the roof and basically catches it in the tank.
Okay, now I see your gutters here. That is quite interesting.
No, but thatch roof is the worst roof water to catch.
You've got a lot of trees here as well.
No, but thatch roof, this water is not suitable for drinking. I'm building a whole big wetland to try and just circulate the thatch roof water, but it's too many nutrients to get it more better, so I could get it into my biochar filter. But like this water, just too much nutrients.
Okay.
So it's like the worst roof water to catch, but with that's why I made the socks. Sunny, we're gonna lock you. It's nonsense. 16,000 liter water tank. Yeah.
Are you able to fill it up?
Yeah.
Just with rain?
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's got a mesh for dust, and it's got a chicken wire for rats.
Oh.
So you don't have rats dropping in. So we just need a bit of cloth and lay cold, and this is waterproof finish. But it's another
I
$2,000.
wanted to say the waterproofing with the cracks like this.
No, that's why the cloth will take care of that.
You put that inside.
Yeah, dipped in the black stuff.
Okay.
Hi. So, thank you so much. We're just on a little tour, but come in.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Open day.
Oh, no, I'm just...
And there's a biochar filter, so that's linked to.
No, don't stab the plants.
Yeah, so it's all connected, but we're just waiting for waterproofing, and then the tank will go through the biochar filter. The biochar filter goes to the pump. The pump's got a municipal disconnect, so you can switch off the municipal water and switch on the pump. I'll show it to you around the corner, and that's it. As you open any taps, just kicks in.
Sure.
And this is all handmade, 1 weekend for biochar filter, and it's made from wattle. We use wattle, we cut it up and made our own biochar. And
This is the design of it is like a lot more spacious than a Zozo hut or a Jojo hut.
Which one?
With this design, of like building your own.
Yeah, you got 16,000 liters and you wrapped it around a straight wall that was a dead space, and it was really an afterthought. I didn't even plan the tank. I was just going with these little beds, and I'm like, whoa, let's swing in, and we swung in, and 16,000 liters.
How much does your normal household use of water?
I'm reusing my water 7 times, so I've like dropped it right down.
Sure. At average, just like normal people with.
Oh, they go up to about 40,000 a month.
Really?
40,000 liters a month. I'm running, so I have my bath irrigate my garden.
Yeah.
Bath water flushes the loo. Oh, we've got some more people. Yeah, come in. Yes, thank you. Come in. Welcome.
Finally meet you.
Good.
Smile's the name. Ismail.
Ismail, nice to meet you.
Cool.
Sana,
Sana,
yes,
Slavs,
my
nice.
brother Nico sent me to you.
Oh,
He was your
thank you, welcome. Linda. Yeah, so basically, I've just disconnected my pipes. The water goes out of the bath, kids sink, showers, and it goes to a wetland. It's separated from sewage. So the first thing you want to do is just separate your grey water from sewage, because it's so much easier to deal with grey water than sewage, although I am dealing with my sewage. And then this is for, and as I add appliances, I'll add wetlands. So this is a washing machine, and then that overflows into, and this is just a square brick one, just to show you what just some square brick, this is what can give you, you know. Here's sandbags, which we used a lot, with a bit of liner, just a shallow guy. There's a fig tree coming up here, so figs love grey water. And this is a cheap 1,000-liter container. Алён, ты можешь вот на стенку, да, вот здесь. So this is so there's one rule: no walking on everywhere stepping stones.
Okay.
So we just use stepping stones so we don't compress the garden. So it's very important.
For sure. So you don't compact the garden.
Exactly, because then it can just absorb. I haven't got to my garden, so the garden doesn't look messy. I've just been focusing on infrastructure. So everything is terraced, mulched. There's another interesting piece here. I've got 4 pipes there, which basically catch water from the pavement. Water from the roof is much cleaner than the pavement water. And pavement water, I basically took it in 4 pipes. 1 pipe recharges the ground aquifers to this gravel, so it just soaks up the ground. 1 pipe, there's a trench here, which I'll show you, got grease trap, which is a small box I teach, this black box, and takes out bits and from the kitchen water, and then that kitchen water in this black pipe.
That kitchen water, once it goes through that box, then it comes
doesn't have
here.
fats and pieces.
Okay.
I also don't put jig, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that goes into a trench, level trench, simple jobby, on contour line, like just level.
Right.
Pipe has got holes drilled at 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So they don't get blocked up, because if you drill holes up on top, so it's like a 10 mil hole every half meter, and then the water just releases. And the trench is filled with logs, sticks, logs and sticks. So if I walk here, they're quite springy.
Yeah.
If you walk there, they're like the bouncy, and that's why they're sitting on the logs. It's a cheap version of a French drain.
I've got you, yeah.
Okay, and then now, so I don't waste the space, you can walk on the on these logs.
Now all your grey water from out of your house.
Grease trap.
Just
Kitchen water, just kitchen water.
Okay,
Here.
So your kitchen water does not link with your bathtub water.
No, because kitchen water is a much more dirtier water than your bath and shower. Bath and shower is 200 liters with a little bit of soap. Kitchen water is like full power, nutrients, fats, and it's just a different story. You know, it's treated more as a sewage water, but it's not as bad as sewage water. It doesn't, like, I wouldn't put sewage straight into the garden. And yeah, and then there is anytime you build a wetland, a good practice to do is to have something that could flush it out now and then. So here's those 4 pipes. So if you guys have a look in the corner, there's 4 fat 110 mil pipes. Okay, and when this pavement, obviously, now how do you catch water from the pavement? I just channel them in those 4 pipes, and then the 1 pipe hits it into this potential aquaponic little pond. There it comes out, right there. There's the pipe. The 1 pipe goes through this into this trench. Yeah, the 1 pipe actually recharges the aquifers, and the one pipe falls into the wetland, which overflows into all these wetlands, and my wetlands get basically get a fresh blast of water when it gets a good rain. Why not? Just so that, like, the gunk doesn't, I mean, the gunk will be fine. And look at them, this is the filter, this is what we're bathing with. They love your soap. They are the filter. And then the water after the biochar, I mean after the wetland, goes here. So come through. And the sewage is also disconnected. If you can look at the wall, you'll see the sewage pipe is cut off there at the bottom. Can you see?
Yeah, and there, and so where it's going now?
The sewage pipe goes through this pipe to a biogas digester. Who's got a lighter? We're gonna make some fire.
Cool.
Yeah, you go.
My poo makes fire, so we'll fire it up. So that's the sewage is separated, and it runs down here, and I'll show you where it ends up. So this is the filter. You can grow some food in your wetlands. There is rose geranium, mints love it. Pawpaw loves grey water. So check what climate you've got and come through. Mistakes on my plan. The biggest was I cut my liner too short. And you got water. You gotta have your pool water turning 4 times a day. Big flow. So it's big flow, low pressure. So it's a very different. So there it is, just sitting there, and I'll show you how this guy works. But just to finish off grey water, there's the sump. So there's a stone. Only step on stones, and there's how deep the pump is. So you can see it.
Okay.
So when that wetland basically is full, so I release my bath, it goes through the wetland, and then 90 seconds later this guy is full, the float switch goes up, it kicks in, irrigates the whole garden automatically, and sends the water to that silver drum, and the silver drum flushes the toilet water. You saw the silver drum. So it just pushes water right up there, and it irrigates my garden. So it's very low tech, handmade, unemployed, unskilled African labor. I was able to, and I just showed them, and we got it done. Here's the old pool wetland, so I mean, you guys can afterwards go there, but this is the papyrus, so this is the filter. Look at it, it's just gone mad. And that's going to be like a little dance space. But the new pool wetland filter, this is proper. So basically it's got a very complex pipe work, quite complex, but it's got 2 110mm pipes at the bottom, drainage pipes, covered in bitumen. Anytime you build water in the wetland pipes, you got to cover them in bitumen, because if you don't, 6 months later you're digging up your pipes because the roots just go mad in there. So that's like a hard lesson I learned. I had to redig that guy already, and I had to redig that guy already. Just like they work, and 6 months later, just like, where's the water, why is it not flowing? So the trick here, this is what professional pool companies that charge you 300,000 Rand, that's what they do. This is Anthony. So I got the guy who worked with Anthony. So basically, it's instead of pushing water through the wetland, which is what I've been doing up until now, which is what that pump is doing, it's pushing water. This one is gravity down, and the pump sucks it from the bottom, throws the water there, and then it overflows here. So come into the shade. Yeah, here's the overflow. And when you're doing the overflow, make sure you're using... Hi, how are you? Good. We'll be doing another tour, so don't worry. So when you're doing the overflow, make sure you're using a 110mm pipe, because the 50mm pipe, is just tricky to... It just didn't work. It wasn't pushing the water fast enough. It blocked up, so I had to rebash this hole. And unlike the EPDM liner, which is 200 Rand a square meter, here we used a second-hand billboard.
Oh yes.
PVC second-hand billboard. Yeah. So be careful with it. It tears easily. Obviously, not like a PDM. There we use plastic. So there's a variety of waterproofing methods. And this is the water that we're all drinking. It goes through a biochar filter, which is, I'll show you on top, handmade, basically activated carbon. But 100 liters of gravel, 100 liters of sand, and 100 liters of biochar. And there it is. It's being pushed into the pool, and it overflows back in here. And it just circulates. So give me 2 weeks, I'll have this pool nice and clear. It's just started. The plants are super young. We trimmed them. Yeah. No. Oh, and the biogas digester. Let's show you the biogas digester.
Sorry, you mentioned bidum to cover the pipe. Not familiar with that.
A bidum is this geotextile. You put it under the pavement so the plants don't come up. So come through here. You can just spread out. You can go on the walls. Yeah. So try and walk on the stepping stones. So the wall is also built with these water containers in mind. So in future we'll waterproof this. And I had a massive flood problem from this clay in Yakski. The river literally flooded into the house. Давай, залезай на стенку. Тебе помочь?
So in other words, you use no chemicals in your swimming pool?
No, what chemicals? I can drink from our pool. So the sewage pipe basically goes here. Nicholas, here's a party trick.
Oh, methane. Is that compressed in any way?
It's building up in there.
Oh, is that your biogas?
Yeah, methane, you can smell it.
No, I think it's needs to brew maybe more, but whew, it's
getting there.
hectic.
You can smell it.
Yeah, but no, I've had fire from it. It's just I don't know why, but it burns. It's
Sounds like my dog.
We also feed it additional sugar from like a nut factory. The sugar coating, and then the sugar just brews this methane. It's not something you can do for like to power the whole house. So it's not, the sustainability is not like one party trick that does it all. It's a biogas digester with, like when you're running out of gas in the evening. It's the solar cooker during the day. It's the a little those hot fox that you heat up your rice, and then as soon as you put it in the bag, and then it carries on cooking. So it's little bits all over that make a difference. But the biggest difference you can make is create this wetland. That's just, any water you use, you double it, you reuse it straight away. Yeah. So guys, try and use stepping stones. Don't walk on the garden. Yeah. So there's stepping stones everywhere. We don't compact. It just acts like a sponge. So, and mulch. Whenever you see grass clippings, bring them into the garden, spread them. You'll never have enough. This is from a cycle race. I stole a few of those. No, I had to. In my little Suzuki Jimmy, I did 3 loads, and it was.
You didn't steal them, you just came and distributed them.
But really, most of the stuff was made using rubbish. You know, you can make a wall like that with tires, but these are long sandbags. And this is a sewage wetland. So from the biogas digester, there's a 60 centimeter wide. Here's a brick wall. That's the width of the width of this brick wall. Yeah, and it runs 14 meters that way, and then the water at the end. So we can walk this way. So you guys can walk on the wall, or you can use the stepping stone. So let's go that way. Yeah.
The wetland for the pool, hey?
Yeah.
That water.
So that mixed with grey water. A lot of people know, like, are your all wetlands mixed? No. No. So, yeah, you can spread out. You can here. You can walk on the earth because we're still working on it. So sewage goes through. So there is a vegetable bed, which we haven't got to. So I'm not claiming my garden is the best, but the technology is there. Whatever you plant now will just pump, And here's the wetland. It's narrow. There's a piece of wood, and again we use plastic. There is carpet. Free carpet that you get from a carpet replacement company, and we just line it so we don't tear the plastic. You get the carpet for free, and here's the sewage. Here's my, literally the stuff that comes out after the wetland. There's no smell. There's no smell at all. I mean, I wouldn't drink this water, but it's really divine for irrigation. There's no smell. Yeah. There's not at all. It's a 14-meter wetland. It sorts it out. So basically, with everything I've shown you, and everything is separate. The sewage is separate. Here is the wetland. The grey water is separate. There is the wetland. The pool is separate. It's not mixed. Here's the wetland. The grease trap sends the water automatically to the garden, separate. So those little bits make up a whole difference. And then once you plant, off you go. You can grow anything. But I haven't got to the garden yet. But the grey water wetland, the grey water irrigates. So we put everything on our irrigation. But if I'm to do it again, I'll do it on drip under mulch. Because when you're mulching this thick, your sprinklers are not even getting to the soil. So just take that lesson from me. So just run the drip line, and it'll be like much more specific, and yeah. So let's come through. I know it's a little bit messy.
Hi, I'm a bit late, Mike.
Sorry, I just had some sewage in my hand.
I've got tea for you.
Oh, great.
And my wife, Amy.
Let me just get this tidied up.
Do
you need to go?
But it should be easy enough, right?
Yeah.
I'll
Just test now that it's working. It should be this side, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Very well.
Good. So I've got some sewage in my... But it doesn't smell. And here is another trick. So it's good that you're seeing... Come have a look here. Ален, ты вставай там, наверху, чтобы ты видела. So here's the start of a food forest. So you observe on your land where is your mad water coming from. Like, where is that point where it just floods galore? So here's a food forest spiral which starts here, and at the next workshop we're going to hit it and we're going to make it into a food forest in 2 days. So basically it gets filled with logs, sticks, mulch, manure, logs at the bottom, and any water coming from gushing down just drops in, because logs are so loose, it just drops in. So when we finish with this whole garden, yeah, you can have a look. Steel dog tins will all rot and make nice iron for the soil. So rubbish, literally rubbish. We're not talking about expensive. Doesn't have to be a spiral. It can be on contour line. Must be on contour line. So why? Water flows 90 degrees to contour line. It's just what it does. It flows downhill. So if you do it, and it's easy to find a contour line, it's an A-frame. So an A-frame, 2 sticks with a stick across, a string with a stone. When 2 legs are the same height, the stick and the stone is in the middle. And you walk it. Oh, no, the string is there. The string is there. When the string is in the middle, you know that this leg is the same height as that. And you just walk it. 2 meter wide. If you do it alone, 1.5 meter wide. Or, and you just walk it and you put little pegs. Where the legs, you move over the leg. Okay, that's it, peg. Then you find the next one. And then you've got the contour line and you dig a little trench. 1/2 meter, maybe 1/2 meter deep. You fill it with log sticks, mulch, manure, and when the water comes down, it just drops into the trench, and then you'll fill it with the soil that you take out, you put back on top. So when you finish, it looks like a garden. It's just like, yes, it will do settle, so you might need to bring in a bit of soil, I'm not going to lie, but ultimately the technology is you're going to have 500,000 liters every time it rains, and the water will stick there. Once this is mulched, so you make your pathways, you mulch, and then off you go. Okay. So that's for in my case, because it's a spiral, it will travel all the way to the center. It'll travel all the way to the center, and it will just, and obviously with food forests, you start with your garden generally. East is your vegetable garden, and then west is your trees, and the tallest trees are on a west-west, so they're on shade. You don't want to put a mulberry on your east side of the garden, and then your whole garden is shaded. It's just like insanity, you know what I mean? So it's all graded. You've got a food forest spiral.
I've got a spiral, I haven't got a food forest. We never got that far.
You never got that far, okay.
We had one summer of amazing production. It was so thick that you actually couldn't get into the centre to harvest.
Yeah.
So there was something wrong with the
Planting.
with the design.
Planting is critical.
Yes.
Now planting is critical. So with food forest, you really think it through, and I'm still going to go and train from Martin Crawford, which is the best food forest in the world. And you plan. You take a tracing paper and you check, because you're planning in time and in size. Because of your mulberry, there's a white mulberry, 30 meters tall, so you got to plan a side view, and it's 20 meters wide. You got to plan a top view. So you can't just like take this little tree that you just gave me as a present now and say, here we go, because 30 years later it's a beast and it's shading your entire house or uprooting. So you really like, you got to work with the tracing paper, and you work it in like 5 years time. What is this thing going to look like? Because maybe next to it for the next 5 years you can still grow some things like a vegetable garden, because you can't like have nothing, because that thing is going to be there in 30 years time. But but then you ultimately have a drawing when like, what is it like in full size, the width and the height, and you do side view profile of east to west and north to south of your garden. So on the south side west you got the tallest trees, on the north side you got the shortest trees, on the west you got the tallest trees grading down so nothing shade each other, and on the east you got the vegetable garden because that's small, and then of course you can do whatever else. So that mulberry tree on there will be coming down because of that tree. I don't get sun until 12 o'clock for half of my vegetable garden. So so you got to really like plan it through. The vision is to, when you move onto your land, you spend a year before you start putting like building or fruit trees and all of that.
What is this?
It's just a dome. It's my next course. It's going to be it's going to be a food growing machine with fish under your feet and wetlands and upside down tomatoes and but let me show you the dome home. Ooh. I have no idea. They say it's cassava, but it doesn't look like the leaves look like cassava, but it doesn't. I honestly don't know, but the leaves look like a cassava-ish. A lot of people tell me it's like a cassava thing, but hi.
Hello, I'm George.
George, nice to meet you. Alosha, hi. Hi, you are? Shirdi, nice to meet you. And you are? Sai. Alosha? You are? Sasha. Ah, that's a Russian name.
Hi, I'm Nivedna.
Nivedna, nice to meet you.
You too?
So we're just going to carry on the tour because it seems like people are pulling in.
Yeah.
You've seen the rest.
Yeah. I just take a little trip around.
Yeah, the people that just arrived, maybe you can just show them the wetland.
Okay, cool.
Or let me just finish this. You've seen the house, eh? Yeah, so how's it?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. How's it is? Yeah.
This is a lot.
Amelia, I'm going to do everybody on the house, and then you can do a split a team, and we'll just pick up on.
Cool, nice turnout.
Doesn't allow heat or cold to get out. So there are two different structures, but 2 weeks, 20 people, and they literally paid me to do that. So the money I used from my students, I invested to have Leafy Green cater for us, and every single row, yeah. Not here. Here we use cloth at the bottom. The cloth doesn't allow to pop down at this bottom level. Once you tip over, then you just lean bricks on each other. It's not finished, but still 30,000 rand on building materials. Yeah. Done, a bit of air you can put in pipes if you want to have additional air coming in. There's going to be a skylight to come inside. You guys can climb, go for it, climb to the top, super strong. So here will be little fish in Thailand that will scrub my feet, and I know it's small and you're like, but you're sitting on a floor. But I didn't have to bond this house. This is what I'm trying to say. Everything is made for human scale. There's going to be a cushion here. It was a little additional little bag, so a nice cushion, and you rest. You know, we have to pay off our homes for 25 years. This was 2 weeks, 21 students paying me $1,000 each. We fed them well, and we taught them, and there we go. They just left on 27th of February. So
Did you have to get building plans?
I don't ask for that. I'm not interested. But yes, you might. But I'm not interested. I don't think anybody else has tell me where I should build my house, how I should build my house. This is ridiculously strong. It's been approved in America. Really, I've got the stuff that they submitted. So yes, when we do, like, if we ever do a proper village of these things, and we've got the right stuff for that. But in my house, I don't ask for, you know, but that's things we can get away in South Africa. So I do respect what you're saying. Hey?
Molds for these blocks.
No, we put them into big forms, 1.5 by 1.5 meters. We poured the foam and cement, and we just chop them with a blade 2 days later.
What is it?
Here's the blocks. No, just a steel knife that you hammer with a hammer. So
So what's the ratio of soap foam to
it's 500 mils of Pick and Pay
soap?
soap to 2 bags of cement makes one of these forms, and that's 125 bricks.
Sure.
So it's still very minimal. And the sandbags is 1 to 10. One cement to 10 earth from under your feet. So if I dig the soil, I can, you know, test it and basically. But now in Joburg we don't have soil, so we have to bring in sand. But if you're on a farm, you're using your own sand from your feet. But it's 40,000 liters here. There is a dome. There is a dome that's here. Basically, the sandbags that you're seeing there, they're going from the floor 3 meters deep, and there's a ferrous, like a ring, with like a rebar, four rebars running with brackets, and then little rebars coming out just to give me a bit of grip, and then I weaved it like a Malawian basket, and then put mesh, and then a ferro cement like that roof.
And so there's no sand in here?
No sand. Just foam and
cement.
Yeah, just foam and cement.
So
And then we'll carry on. So these are the compasses. So there they are, all homemade, nothing fancy.
No.
And then basically what you do, so we're 4 compasses for 4 teams, and once the bricks get to this level, the compass you place it, that tells you where, you know, how the geometry, yeah, the geometry. So we can just, how many rows? We put 2 rows a day, so that's 1 day, 2 days. Yeah, I'm done. That's it. So
Has this got the strength of like a corbel arch?
Yeah, it's catenary shape. So they're self-supporting. The more pressure you put on an arch, the more stronger it gets. Provided it's buttressed. Hence this little funny thing coming out here is a buttress. I know it's probably not well thought, but you know, it was an afterthought. This was going to be an air-crete room, but because you changed the sandbag, you got to have, like, you know, every dome is only as strong as when it's a full dome, an egg. As soon as you're making an opening, you no longer have a dome. So hence the buttressing, which now can act as a couch, is going to be a nice little water feature. Everything again once made for human scale, you know. But you don't have to have this in the room. In future, if I'm to build this, I'll just take this room further away and make the tunnel the buttress, and then have this space clear, because it's not big spaces, so you don't go and build a 20-meter dome, but like 6 meters, 30 squares, just pushing it. Like 5, this is a 4-meter diameter, 4.2 meter diameter. I'd say I'd push it to 5 for first build, but you know, as you get experience, you can go. But it's not huge
I wrote
space.
to you about the dam under the house and the feng shui fact of living on top of water.
Is it bad or good?
Geopathic stress.
Not good.
Well, geopathic stress, if you've got a stream under your house.
But that's running water.
But that's
That's
Running water is good.
running.
It's different.
Yeah.
I would.
Standing in no
I
problem.
think it shouldn't.
But you could.
You could do
turn it into a
something.
cellar.
You could turn it into a cellar, exactly, or like a hideaway place if we ever have, some breakout or what. But I just wanted to show that it's possible. You know what I mean? I'm really a school here. I'm not trying to build this for people or anything. Yeah, simple. So I go and I learn from the masters and I bring the knowledge back and I apply and I've got the online course, which, by the way, today we put 2 courses, the water and the dome. We put it for the price of one. So if anybody's interested, come talk to me. Really, it made it super affordable. It's $200, 2,200 Rand for both courses. Every time I go, and it's about 6 courses international in one, every time I go it's $2,500 a pop. It's 1,000 for tuition, flights, accommodation. So basically it's really like extreme. I'm trying to bring it so affordable, and I guarantee that by watching these videos you'll build a house yourself with water and all the systems.
Now, how do you finish plastering?
Just gonna plaster it like you do a first coat, and then you just you bring trowels and you. I'm not a professional plasterer. There's some of these guys on the side of the road. They roll. Hey, they can. A guy like outside, we had a guy come in and just did it in a day.
The water right here underneath there. Where does it come from?
Oh, the house will create a gutter. We'll build a little wall all around, and then that gutter will channel water. And there's a pipe already. There's that black pipe. That's the inlet into the tank, and then the outlet is just underneath that house to overflow. Overflow must be always bigger than the inlet, so you don't have water coming up.
All the rain going over this, it'll go into that tank.
Yeah, so it'll be like a little bench that you sit here with little plants and gravel, and then the water will filter, so like leaves and dirt, and then it will just channel underneath the house.
And what will you do are you going to do 12-volt lighting inside of it?
Yeah, basically the aircrete is so light you can shave it with a spoon.
No, I mean lighting to see at night.
Yeah. We'll shave the aircrete with a spoon, put the conduit in, and that's the type of things that a family would finish. If you want a cheaper house, you just hammer it out yourself with your partner, with your kids. My son helped me to pour the forms. Children were here plastering. They loved plastering. I had 2 girls here plastering. So it's really, the idea here is today is the first day or the first opening, is to have a school where we can have kids coming here and we'll teach them how to make a wetland, small wetland, and we'll build with them a little dome so they can learn alternative ways. So just spread the word for us. We ultimately want a busload of children here arriving at least once a month, and then I'll pump them whole day, with vegan food. We'll just do a whole and then also thinking summer camps where they can have a whole experience, and we'll do a little 2, 3, 4 day thing. But it's really going to be this is a community space. I need a supportive community to carry this on. I can't do this alone anymore. I'm slightly buckling under pressure, but I really need the help of the community to just get this thing off the ground. And so if anybody's got ideas or anybody can help with getting hold of the schools, and the idea is to make profits. So if you are helping, once it gets rolling, that if you are phoning schools as an admin, then you will be receiving abundance for that. It's not a charity. We're not claiming that at all. We want to make profit. We want to do good. That's, I think, new reality consciousness. Yes.
Is this a
ferro cement? The same as the dome underneath. Steel, rebar, mesh, cement. Not very eco-friendly, but still more eco-friendly if I'm to do a straight roof, because I'll have to go 1 meter thick or half a meter thick with too much reinforcement. But catenary shape is self-supporting. Sandbag water tank. I don't know. But like in a day it's 3 seconds and it fires up. So sunglasses. Yeah. So just shows you, but again this can be made cheap with an umbrella and some Simba chip packets, the backside of a Simba chip packet. So yes, these are fancy things that I'm showing you, but Township, the alternative, Richard Pocock has got a design of a cardboard box and how to fold it. and put it with some chip packets. So, you know, that's the idea, is to teach low-tech, simple solutions for like that people can just afford and do at home.
Yeah, yeah.
But as I said, it's not the. I've got some more little solar things. Let's go have a look to show you. And we made our own paint, oxides and lime. Let's see, we've got some flaking, but oxides and lime. 2 bags of lime did the whole garden. All of these things just you know, really, and a few packets of oxides. That's 7 rand a packet.
Yeah.
Obviously you need to play around so they don't crack, but generally they're quite strong. I don't know what happened here, but you know, it's experimental place. Really, this is the place where like we're allowed to make mistakes. So we can teach you like, don't do that, don't do that. But okay, let's go. Of like-minded people. And then you do have time for these kind of things.
Working with Mr. Michael Pillinger in...
Yeah, but he's more like, let's start fixing old towns. Let's go and find a land, put in the keystones, talk to the cosmos, ground the energy, and start a whole new thing with sacred geometry without trying to fix old square towns with mayors and system. But yes.
He's into all those circles.
Yes.
Ancient.
Let me bring another little cooker. Here, and it just becomes a reflector, and it's like a glass tube, and then you put your muffins here, and then you've got a temperature goes up to 400 degrees Celsius. So, you know, can make some nice muffins.